A friend to all is a friend to none. Do you agree or disagree? Why? It is not possible to be a true friend to everyone, and we should be wary of someone who tries to act like he is. Sometimes friendship requires choosing sides in a conflict, sticking up for them, telling hard truths, keeping their secret, being there during rough times, pledging loyalty, or some other difficult action. It's meaningless. It depends so much on what you mean when you drill down that it can mean almost whatever you want. Is treating everyone with basic human decency morally equivalent to treating nobody with basic decency? No, not in any way that makes sense. Will someone who tries to please everyone ultimately end up pleasing nobody? More often than not, yes. It's a deepity. It sounds pithy, but it's such a vague statement that you can't even evaluate the truth or falsehood of it. At least anthropogenic climate change is real has the balls to be a clear true or false statement. It's false, by the way. I find most of the time, the person who is selfless to a fault doesn't often have people who are selfless for them. Along with some of the other responses here about spreading yourself too thin or being too generous, I think it's also something to do with the concept that some people have conflicting needs or wants, so trying to be a friend to two people whose needs conflict will always result in you either passively or actively harming the other. Those who stand for nothing will fall for anything. You can be kind and open with everyone, but the intimacy of friendship cannot be shared with everybody. You simply cannot relate to everyone. If you somehow do, then you're adapting yourself to fit in with this individual, which means that isn't your authentic self, and therefore I want no part of you. That's just me though. Agree. If someone spreads themselves too thin trying to be friends with everyone, they might lack the depth and commitment in any one relationship. I disagree. Being friendly to many can be a strength. I found that having a wide circle of friends enriches my life and creates a supportive network. It's possible to balance having many friends and still build deep, meaningful relationships. People who say this are cynics. Disagree. Being a friend to all can mean you're open-minded and kind, and it's possible to have close relationships with multiple people despite having a large social circle. Sounds deep, but really doesn't seem to be accurate enough to be a useful heuristic. People who are everyone's friend still have people who they are closer to than others. This seems like a cynic's take on why they'd be an asshole to everyone except for a handful of people, and consider themselves to be better friends than people who are friendly to and get along well with everyone, but who likely also have a handful of people they are closest to. Don't trust people who need to be liked by everyone. Disagree. We don't have to be cynical here and assume that being a friend to all means you're a doormat or knave. I consider myself a friend to all. Sure, why not? I'm not out to please everyone, but I'm certainly going to do my best to help people when I can or make their lives easier. I'm not going to open with suspicion and paranoia. Treat others like you would like them to treat you. Sure, friend to all until there's a reason not to be the friend. I don't agree. It's not possible to be everyone's friend. You can treat everyone as a friend, but not everyone will consider you a friend. Disagree. I have friends in my community who I've never had a conversation with, but we're friendly with each other. I'm also very close to a handful of people. I think you can be friendly with lots of people and still have close relationships. Agree. Loyalty is a very strong part of a friendship. If you're loyal to everyone, you're loyal to nobody. That's not how loyalty works. A friend to all is worse than a friend to none. A friend to all is a friend to none. Chase two girls, lose the one. When you're young they assume you know nothing, you've got carried away with that one lol. Honestly, the only people I've ever heard say that are the same people who can't seem to make a friend. Most of those old sayings are now just ways for insecure people to project. Friendship is not a zero-sum game. That being said, your time and attention is limited, so being a friend to everyone is impossible. Being friendly to everyone might be, on the other hand. Not necessarily. The friendliness to all people isn't at the same level. The outer friend circle get the friendliness and help, but the person will have an inner friend circle that he would go above and beyond for. I think it's clear people can be pretty self-serving and even malevolent. I much prefer people who are just peaceable and go about their business and be amiable to almost everyone. Having just one or two close friends in life is probably the secret sauce, but I see no harm whatsoever being rational, civil and kind to people as a matter of a good way to carry oneself in all things. I don't mean to go buy everyone a coffee or a beer, but most of society is predicated on the idea that we can be polite and friendly towards one another when not disposed otherwise. And I say that knowing I have a bit of a temper, so while I make a point of being pretty chill, it will be unmistakably clear when I'm not happy with the circumstance.